let's start our session. Okay, so guys, still yesterday, what I given, is it clear for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have a few questions. Okay, I have some questions. Okay, 2-3 questions I will ask from you only. Okay, and then we'll move to a new topic for today, which is a Hyper-V. Okay. Not okay, not a hypervisor. Hyper-V, remember. Hyper-V. So I will give out a Hyper-V. Okay, today, but before this, I have a few questions. Yeah, first of all, we have a Saurabh Balian.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Saurabh, let me know one thing. What is virtualization and what is their benefits?
Sir is the process of the technology which helps us to create a virtual machine that we can access virtually rather than actually, but that one virtual machine acts like a real machine.
And what is their benefit? What is the benefit of using virtual machine?
Sir, first benefit for testing purpose or cost saving technology.
Okay, now tell me, how can you say that virtualization is good for a testing purpose? How can you say that virtualization is good for a testing purpose?
Sir, because
Because what?
what
Because what? Just tell me because what? How can you say that virtualization is good for a testing purpose?
Physically, we can run the application or run the program.
Vishwanath, I'm not
Yes, sir.
asking to you, yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, Vishwanath, give the answer now. Now you can speak. Yes, Vishwanath, now you can speak. Give the answer.
Sir, we can physically run the programs and we can develop some applications, etc.
That's why it's good for a testing purpose. This is a reason.
No, sir.
Then okay.
Should I tell?
Java Oscar.
So it is helpful for the testing purpose because as it's a virtual machine, so if something happened to the machine, so our physical machine will be safe. And if we have created several virtual machines, we can easily jump onto the another one.
Okay. Absolutely correct. Very well. Okay. Next one we have a Krishna. Yes, Krishna, can you hear me? Yeah, it's a Krishna Ghumare. Can you hear me? Okay. Uh, guys, so okay, then we can start our session discussion on topic on the Hyper-V. Okay. So just to give me a minute. So guys, see. Okay, what is the meaning of Hyper-V? Actually, till now, okay, what I given you about a VMware VirtualBox, correct? It's a application that you are downloading, right? Okay, and then you are installing. But Hyper-V actually a inbuilt feature in a Windows. Means if you have a Windows 10 operating system, so without installation of uh, any VMware, without installation of any VirtualBox, you can use Hyper-V. You can use Hyper-V because Hyper-V is also software, is also a tool, so that will help you for a virtualization process. If you want to get a multiple virtual machine, it's not okay. It's not compulsory that every time you need some third-party software that okay that you will download and you will use. No, you can use a system inbuilt okay Windows inbuilt facility Hyper-V. Okay, Hyper-V in Windows. But even I'm telling to you, okay, what's happening, what the practical I will show you. Don't try in your system about a Hyper-V. Just see my screen. Okay, why I'm saying you? If already you are using VMware and VirtualBox, okay, and you will also use Hyper-V, so your system will get an error in a BIOS, and maybe that's something hardware will corrupt. Because I'm experienced, okay, I know what the error will come. Okay, I have a very good system right now, so I can perform, right? So that's why if you have a very good system as per your knowledge, okay, gaming laptop, if you have gaming system, very good configuration, then what I'm showing you can perform. Otherwise, don't perform about a Hyper-V. Because of already, if you are performing a virtualization software like a VMware and VirtualBox, so don't perform Hyper-V. Okay, I will show you everything so that okay, what you can do, you all of you can see my screen, how I am doing. You can ask the questions and you can note it down every notes. Okay, because you know very well, precaution is very important. Right? If you're learning something, so okay, you should take care about precautions and all. Right? So what's happening here? So we are going to run a Hyper-V. So okay, let's first try to understand about a Hyper-V. Hyper. Guys, Hyper-V is a virtualization tool inbuilt tool in a Windows that will help you to create a virtual machine and to run a virtual machine. For example, if this is your system, okay, this is your desktop or laptop, okay, in your desktop and laptop, okay, in your physical OS, okay, you have a Windows OS. So inside a Windows operating system, okay, if you have a Windows 10 or 11 only, if you have a Windows 7, so Hyper-V you can't use. Okay, I will write it down everything, don't worry. Okay. So if you have a Windows 10 OS, correct. So what's happening? You can enable Hyper-V and you can create, you can create a VM in Hyper-V. Okay. And you can create a VM in virtual machine in Hyper-V. Right. Guys, so okay. How you can understand, okay, what is Hyper-V if anyone will ask you? So you can write a definition. Hyper-V is a, okay, in my online, okay, is a tool or what is Hyper-V? So Hyper-V is a tool or a software which is inbuilt in Windows OS. Okay. Helps for virtualization and we can create and run a virtual machine in it. It's an inbuilt features. You don't need to download anything. Okay. And Hyper-V feature, just wait. The Hyper-V feature present in Windows 10 or Windows 11 operating system. Okay. Hyper-V feature present in Windows 10 or Windows 11 operating system. Okay. If you have a Windows 7 or Windows 8 something, so you cannot use Hyper-V. So you can't use Hyper-V. Correct. Okay, but guys, see. Okay. For example, if you have a Windows 10 or Windows 11, so it's okay. So it's also not a guarantee. It's also not a guarantee that in every Windows 10 operating system or every Windows 11 operating system, Hyper-V will present. It's not a guarantee. How and why? Because guys, simple thing, Hyper-V having a some exception. Hyper-V having a some exception. So now try to understand exception about Hyper-V. Exception about Hyper-V. Okay. What is the exception about a Hyper-V? Correct. Okay. Guys, so okay, about Hyper-V, the exception is okay. Hyper-V feature is not present in home editions of Windows PC. Hyper-V feature is not present in home editions of Windows PC. Means if you have a Windows 10 home, Windows 11 home, so Hyper-V feature will not present. Okay, what's the meaning of home edition? Guys, see for example what's happening. There is a mobile phone, okay, iPhone, right? So iPhone company having a brand, okay, version 12, iPhone 12, right? So iPhone 12 is there, iPhone 12th version, right now. What okay, okay, if I'm saying iPhone 12, what is the meaning? It's a 12th version of iPhone, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Correct now. It's a 12th version of an iPhone. Okay, if I'm saying iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Mini, what is the meaning? Pro and Mini is their addition, right
No,
now.
sir.
Pro and Mini is their addition. Guys, same thing is happening with the Windows. We are calling Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. Correct. So like Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating system having additions like Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Home single language, Windows 10 Education, Windows 10 Enterprise. Yes. So if you have a home or home single language, if you have a dish to addition of Windows 10 PC, so
Teacher.
if you have a Windows 10 Home or Windows 10 Home single language, these two addition of Windows PC, so you can't use hypervisor. Okay. You cannot use hypervisor if you have a Windows 10 Home or Windows 10 Home single language of PC. Because home version of PCs, home version of Windows are used for a personal uses, not a professional uses. If you have a Windows 10 Enterprise or Pro, so definitely Hyper-V feature will present. Correct. Now you can ask me a question, sir. How can I check? Okay. Now okay, you can ask the questions. How to check the addition of Windows, right? Means for example, you are saying, sir, I have a Windows 10, sir, I have a Windows 11. Okay, but you are not about their feature addition. Correct. If okay, for example, this is my Windows 10 PC. Okay, I want to check addition. How can I check?
So Windows are
Sir, in settings.
See, simple thing. How you can check? You can go to CMD. Okay, command prompt. Okay, in a CMD you can write a command winver. WINVER Okay. Okay, guys, I'm showing to you. Window R in a run button.
WinWare.
CMD. In a CMD. Okay, here I can write winver. You are seeing? Okay, I have a which OS?
Yes, sir. 21H2.
Windows 10 Pro. See this
Ah.
one, Pro. Means I have a Pro edition. Correct. So if in the place of Pro in your system it's written like home single language, so you cannot use Hyper-V because Hyper-V feature is not present in home edition of Windows PC. It's present in Pro and Enterprise. Correct, guys. So all of you, okay, please check your Windows edition and write it down in my chat box. Which edition of Windows PC you have? So check like this. Go to CMD, write down WINVER, and you can see the Windows 10 Pro OS. This means I have a Windows 10 Pro. Okay, like this, you can check your Windows edition. Okay, and in a chat box, write it down. Drop a message to me. Which edition of Windows PC you have? I want from all of you. Only Krishna has given a written a message. Windows 7 Ultimate. Okay. So Krishna, okay, in a Windows 7, you can't use Hyper-V. Okay. Akash having a Windows 10 home single language. So Akash, you cannot use Hyper-V. Hyper-V feature will not be visible for you. Mukul having a
But
Windows
sir,
10 Pro.
yes,
Yes.
but sir, we can do in the setting option with the boot option, sir.
What you can do?
Means we can activate the Hyper-V option as I checked in the Google.
No. Don't activate. Don't activate.
Okay.
Don't activate Hyper-V from there. Your OS will corrupt.
Okay, sir.
Don't go for Google and YouTube videos. They are just doing for a promotion, for our real time work.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, Mukul having a Windows 10 Pro, so you can use a Hyper-V. Malar Windows 7, you can't use Hyper-V. Ganesh having a Windows 10 Home single language, you can't use Hyper-V. Ganesh. Rusab Windows 10 Home, you also cannot use Hyper-V. Windows 10 Home single language Bhaskar. Bhaskar also you can't use Hyper-V. Vishwanath having a Windows 10 Pro and edition version 1903. Okay. Selva Windows 10 Pro, Gajanan Windows 10 Pro. Pranath is saying Windows 10 Home language OS, sir. Rachna is saying Windows 8.1, so you can't use Rachna Hyper-V. Windows 7, Kasif. Mahesh Baba Windows 10 Home single language. Okay, also you can't use Hyper-V. And Samik having Windows 10 Pro. So simple thing. The person who is having a Windows 7 or Windows 10 Home or Windows 10 Home single language, guys, you can't use Hyper-V. You cannot use Hyper-V, okay? And don't go for YouTube and Google videos. They will migrate your mind, and don't enable Hyper-V from BIOS in Windows 10 Home. Correct. Okay, so okay, now see what's happening. Okay, I have a Windows 10 Pro, right? So I can use Hyper-V, na? So now the things is how to enable Hyper-V. Okay, guys, see what's happening. My system is a much more capable. Okay, my system is a much more capable. So inside a VMware, I have a Windows 10 Pro. Sorry, okay, inside a VirtualBox, I have a Windows 10 Pro, right? Yesterday I installed now Windows 10 Pro inside a VirtualBox.
Yes, sir.
So on that one Windows 10 Pro VirtualBox, I will enable Hyper-V. I can do a nested virtualization. Nested virtualization means one machine which is created through a virtualization. On that machine, one more virtualization, one more software I can install because my system is capable. Your system will not be capable for this. Okay, so that's why just see the system that how I'm doing and how I'm creating. Okay, and then I will write it down the steps as well as okay as I'm writing. Correct now? Guys, okay. So now the things is how to enable. Okay. Now I checked. Okay, I checked that I have a Windows 10 Pro. Correct. Guys, so if I have a Windows 10 Pro, so how can I enable Hyper-V? Okay, how I can enable Hyper-V in a Windows? Correct. So now the things is sorry. How to enable Hyper-V in Windows OS. Okay, how would you enable Hyper-V in a Windows? Okay, guys, so if you want to enable Hyper-V in a Windows OS, so what you can do? Okay, I'm writing the steps. Okay, and then I will perform. Okay, and I'm telling to all of you, don't perform the Hyper-V practical in your system. If already you are using VMware or VirtualBox, anyone. Guys, so how to enable Hyper-V in Windows? So for this, correct. For this, first of all, go to control panel. Okay, because I remember I steps. That's why, okay, I'm writing here and then I will perform. Okay. In the control panel, then go to programs and feature. And then, okay, in the program and features, then go to turn the Windows feature on and off. Then you can click on Hyper-V. Then the PC will restart. Okay, and then Hyper-V will enable. Okay, and how to get a virtual machine inside Hyper-V? I will tell you step by step. Okay, so now, okay, what I'm doing, I'm going to enable Hyper-V now. Okay. Sorry. I forgot to do one thing. I'm going to increase the RAM. Okay. Yesterday I given 1 GB only.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving it 4 GB. Okay, I did a practical of prox. Okay. I have shown the practical of proxmox here. Okay, I can use another, I can use a VMware. The VMware I have a Windows 10 OS. Just give me a minute. Not this one, okay. Windows 10, 10 Pro, 10 Pro, 11 Pro. Yes, just wait. I'm going to enable Hyper-V. Okay, I can enable here also. Okay, my physical machine is also a Windows 10 Pro. Okay, I can enable here, but okay, I'm not doing it in a physical machine. Okay. Just wait. Okay, so you can assume this is my, okay, this is actually physical machine. Sorry, okay, virtual machine. But you can assume like this is my physical machine. This is my physical machine. Okay, you can assume like this. So if this is my physical machine of Windows 10, correct. So how I'm enabling Hyper-V and how I will create a virtual machine under Hyper-V, all of you can Okay, all of you can see. So just give me a minute only. Okay, guys, okay. So okay, this my okay. I'm going to check the version of this PC. So CMD. Mm, Windows Windows 10 Pro, right? Seeing all of you.
Yes, sir.
So if this is a Windows 10 Pro means I can enable Hyper-V. So go to control panel. Okay, so I'm going to control panel. Okay, control panel. Okay, make this RARs icons. Here you are able to see option, programs and features. This one, right? I'm going to click. Right. After clicking on this option, then I'm going to turn the Windows feature on or off, right? We'll click here.
Sir.
And after clicking here, you are seeing Hyper-V is not checked in, no? See, right? I'm going
Yes,
to
sir.
click on Hyper-V. Okay, only Hyper-V. Okay, and leave it. Okay, rest all. Then we'll click on OK. You are saying okay. Searching for required file. Once the file will meet, I accept. Okay. Then the system. Okay. Then the system will restart. You are saying Windows completed our changes. Okay, require means okay require changes. Windows need to reboot your PC to finish installing the click on restart. Okay, guys. So in this way you can enable Hyper-V because it's a feature, right? And feature is a okay, and it's an inbuilt feature. Okay, so if it's an inbuilt feature, so you can only enable, right? You can't do a lot of things except enabling, right now. Okay, after enable the features, now the things is now okay, now the question is how to create a virtual machine in Hyper-V and install Ubuntu OS on it. Okay. Correct. Right. So for creation of virtual machine, first of all, okay, first of all, we need to find out the Hyper-V tool. Okay, I enabled the feature, right? After enable the feature, from where I will get a Hyper-V tool, right now. So okay, and okay, I need to go for a control panel option. In a control panel, correct. Then I need to go for okay, administrative tool. Okay, after clicking on administrative tool, then I will go for because there is an option Hyper-V manager. Okay, after enabling a feature now, there is a new tool got installed. The name is the Hyper-V manager. Okay, I will click on this Hyper-V manager, and then I will get the option of creation new virtual machine. I'm showing to all of you. Okay, so go to control panel, then administrative tool, right? Administrative tool. Seeing Hyper-V manager, right? This one.
Yes.
Click on Hyper-V manager. and then you are able to see, right? Okay, and all of you can read a definition. After definition, पढ़ो. Okay, what is the meaning of Hyper-V? Okay. A virtual server is a physical that provides the resources required to run virtual machine. You can use Hyper-V manager to create, configure, and manage virtual machine on a virtualization server. Correct. Yes. Okay. So I will use this tool. You are seeing option. Click on new, then click on virtual machine. So virtual machine will will create. Okay. Guys, okay. But first of all, I want to just use a common sense here. I want to create a virtual machine of Ubuntu. So in this machine, I should get a Ubuntu OS ISO file, na? Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So here, here I'm going to download Ubuntu OS ISO file. Okay, it will take it 5 to 7 minutes only. Don't worry. Okay, I'm going to download Ubuntu OS. Okay. Okay. 10 minutes max to max. Okay, so let's wait for downloading of Ubuntu OS on this one machine. Okay. Once the downloading will complete, then I will show you how can you create a virtual machine and how can you access a Ubuntu virtual machine under Hyper-V. Guys, so I will mute for next 10 minutes. Okay, until the Ubuntu OS will not successfully download on this one machine. Okay, so now time is 16:52, means 4:52. Okay, I will back on a 5:2.